Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday. I did get to the track a little bit later, so there's a little bit more light out. It is 5:55, and I am 5 minutes into my walk. I am gonna walk the 3 miles like I regularly do. But I just forgot to put my alarm on time, man. Um, I messed up. Instead of putting it at 4:45, I put it at 5:55. I just need to set up, I guess, a sleeping schedule instead. Because I saw that you could do that on a phone. I can put my bedtime and stuff, so I'm gonna start doing that. But anyways, today I want to talk about a quote that I just read from Marcus Aurelius. Um, Basically, let me read the quote for you guys. Give me a second. I gotcha. It talks about the power of the mind, right? And realize how you have power over your mind, and you will gain strength for that. See? Okay, so this is the quote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Okay, so for me, I've heard this quote a couple of times, right? And then I was reading yesterday. I wrote it down because I read it again. But for me, it was really important to realize this because I was always a person that would let my mind win. You could say, oh, look, a bunny. I'll show you out right now when I close it. But yeah, when I was younger, I was always skinny, right? So I would let that shit get to me. Not until I was almost out of high school, senior, that I realized that that's just my mind talking shit to itself, and I need to realize that's not me, right? But before I keep talking about this, see if y'all can see that bunny. Hold up. I don't know if y'all can see the bunny. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, yeah. So for me, I realized it a bit. You could say late, but I mean, uh, it all depends that you end up waking up and realizing that your mind does not dictate what you're gonna do. It might dictate how you're feeling, right? But that doesn't mean you're supposed to let it win. You're supposed to realize that you have more power over your mind than you realize. Start talking positive about yourself. Start looking. How do I say this? Start looking at yourself differently. For me, I used to think that being skinny wasn't a good thing, right? And I ended up getting fat because of it. And then I was like skinny fat because with a shirt I'd look skinny, but I was fat without it. Let me see, fix this. But yeah, so um, I let my mind win, right? So instead of realizing like, hey, there are positives to this. If I'm skinny, all I need to do is start working out, and I'm gonna look good, right? Like obviously, and I'm able to run, move, walk, do whatever I want, right? I don't have a disability. I don't have no diabetes, no nothing like that. So I was looking at it all wrong and letting my mind win because of the shit that I would hear and outside events, right? So I have close family that they're fucking fat, bro. In all honesty, and they know I talk shit about them because I say it to their face, right? Like I tell them they're fat, um, but they're fucking fat, and they have the belief that being fat is healthy. It is not fucking healthy. If you're fat, that does not mean you're healthy. Yes, you can be healthy and fat, right? But eventually, it's gonna catch up to you because our bodies are not designed to hold on to that much fat, right? Look it up. It's fucking true. But yeah, um, I will let the outside events of what was going on just ruin my fucking mood, ruin what the fuck I used to think about myself. So don't do that to yourselves. Start realizing that you got more power over yourself than you really do. Nobody's gonna save you. You have to do it your damn self. But anyways, let me go ahead and, damn, this looks beautiful. Look at this. It was raining a little bit ago, but it wasn't that bad. There's a lot of people on the trek right now. Anyways, let me go ahead and knock these 2 miles out. Let me know what you guys think. We'll talk back whenever I'm on my way to the truck. There's little ducks right here right now. There's always ducks here, but it's rare when they're out here on the fucking grass. Okay, I am halfway through my second mile, right? But I was thinking about what we were talking about and how important that is because it builds mental fortitude. Like, I mean, it builds like your strength against outside critics, against outside. Of course, you got to be open to criticism. There is, how do you, constructive criticism, and then there's criticism that just comes from hate, envy, or jealousy, and you got to be able to have that fortitude to be cold enough to say, okay, this is true, this is not, and it's probably because of this or that, right? So I was just thinking of that, so I needed to say it before I forgot it. Uh, but yeah, it is really important to be able to sit back and self-criticize as well, though, because I feel like I've said this before. I think we are our harshest critics, and in that, sometimes there's some truth, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it just comes from insecurities and stuff. But I feel like we are our harshest critics, especially when it comes to, I'd say, fitness. For me personally, well, why does it do that? Okay, for me personally, because I'd like to be bigger or I like to be lifting heavier weight, right? But if I sit back and really look at where I started, where I'm at now, everything has gone up as far as weight, um, muscle mass, stuff like that, right? But it's because I built that mental fortitude. Because at the beginning, when I started posting stuff, well, still, right? I still get a lot of people that talk shit about that because I don't know. It's something they can't take away, I guess, especially the gym. Like I heard from a close relative, another close relative said this, right? Why does he even bother doing that shit? It doesn't change anything, right? And they were talking about the gym, like me posting about the gym and stuff. And I started doing it just because I liked. I started liking messing with videos and like doing all that stuff and just experimenting so I can start throwing stuff out for my social media and like just, I mean, y'all know why I started this because I was anti-social stuff. And I feel like it it hurts them not being able to take that away from me, right? And then I started building that mental fortitude. Like, okay, if you think that, that's something that's reflecting you, right? Because most of the time, when we criticize or say stuff, you have to look inward and say, okay, why am I criticizing that, or why am I talking down on that? So, yeah, I just needed to say that before I forgot it. Uh, I'll talk to y'all whenever I'm done with this other mile and a half. All right, so I am done. I kind of rushed that last one, so I kind of ran a little bit. So I finished faster than I thought. It is 6:55. Uh, I did. I ran. I guess I ran a mile. Hopefully, it doesn't affect me later in my lift. But I ran half a mile, then walked it, then ran another half a mile, then walked the rest. Right. But yeah, so I was talking about mental fortitude and being able to be, you could say, resilient. Yeah, I like that. Being able to be resilient. Like like I said, for me personally, I've had family members talk shit about the stuff that I do right now, which is, upload content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, say it's pointless. What is it for? To me, it's not pointless. It's something I really enjoy. I like making reels and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't have the time that I'd like to be able to, you know, post constantly, like on TikTok and uh, and Instagram. But I mean, I've been posting daily on YouTube because I made it a goal to be able to post every fucking day. But yeah, so but if I was mentally weak, right, and I let my mind be dictated by or be governed, you could say, by outside events, people talking on the outside, I had already had stopped, right? Like I would have stopped, I wouldn't have posted ever again, just fucking focused on work and that's it. But I really do enjoy making videos and people reaching out like, hey, because you talked about this or because you posted this, I've done this, right? So that I love that shit because that means there's people that are actually looking at the positives and not just fucking hating, you could say, right? Because you can hate all you want, but not everybody is willing to record themselves, talk in public, and do that because I wasn't willing to do that. I know that for a fact. I wasn't willing to do that. I sucked at talking in front of a camera. I still kind of do. I'm getting rid of like stutters and stuff like that. But it isn't easy, right? And then especially after posting it, you're open to criticism, you're open to trolls, you're open to all this stuff, right? I mean, you could say they're criticizing, but that is their belief. That is what they think. They think it's pointless, right? I don't think it's pointless because I'm getting better at making videos and making TikToks, and I want to be able to push out my uh, my business's content, right? Like, hey, we're working on this, and we're doing this, this, and this, um, stuff like that. I'm getting better at editing. I am getting better. I'd say slowly getting better at storytelling, being more eloquent with my words, and it has helped me. Honestly, it's helped me a lot because when I talk in person now, like I speak up more. I like I said, I'm more eloquent. I make more sense than just ramble. Right? Sometimes I just ramble. A lot of the times, sometimes just ramble. But practice makes perfect. And yeah, if I wasn't mentally, you could say prepared or mentally strong about that stuff, I would have let that shit get to me. I might have before, but now I could care less. None of them pay me. None of them uh, do what I do. I know half of them wouldn't record themselves the way I do. So not to say that that's bad, but like if you're gonna talk shit about somebody, you better be able to back it up and say, okay, I could do it better, or I could do it too. That's how I think, right? Like that's why, um, like I find people I find it so funny that people talk shit about other lifters and stuff like that when they have bad form and lift heavy as fuck. Yes, but having bad form is bad. But some people wouldn't even be able to lift that weight because I saw a 17-year-old TikTok of a 17-year-old, right, lifting 1,000 pounds, and his form was questionable. But I know for sure I wouldn't even be able to fucking lift that off the rack. Like off the rip, I know I wouldn't be able to lift that off the rack. And if I'm gonna talk shit, I better be able to at least lift it off the fucking rack, right? But I'm not. I'm not gonna talk shit because shit. Kudos to him. With bad form or anything, he still got that shit done and did that shit. And I mean, it was one rep. It was questionable, but shit. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to lift that off the rack. That's me. I know that for sure. So why would I talk down on somebody trying to get stronger, breaking goals, and get put it like this? He might not have the good form now to lift that weight, but he's doing it at 17. Imagine by the time he's 21, right? This motherfucker's gonna be able to lift that shit with perfect form. Might even be able to rep that shit out. Who knows, right? But yeah, like I said, if you're gonna talk shit or criticize somebody, make sure it's with goodwill, good intent. Like if you're gonna criticize somebody, like I like it when people give me constructive criticism. I love it, right? I fucking love it because it helps me. It helps me a lot. Um, like I had a friend, Monica, shout out Monica, reach out to me and say, hey, like, I like the Yap sessions, but maybe like what I did today, pick a quote, ramble about that because I'm all over the place. Note it, right? Like, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be like, why would she say that? That is constructive criticism. That is something that came out of like her wanting to help. That makes sense, right? But it would be different for her to just not tell me shit and go behind my back and say, oh, he's just posting stupid videos and not making no fucking sense and just rambling. That is not uh, good good criticism. That is bad criticism. That is criticism in bad faith. Don't do that. That is not okay. But anyways, later today I have lower. I am gonna have a later gym session, I believe. So hopefully it's not too packed. But I will see you guys later. I will post that. I'm gonna try and do it a little bit different than I usually do. I'm making more vlogish, more my POV. Uh, I was trying to do my POV, but I don't know if I'm gonna get the chest mount in time. I don't even know if I ordered the right chest mount now that I'm looking at. Like yesterday, I was looking at the thing, but it was already ordered, already paid for, so I just gotta wait. If not, I'll return it. But yeah, it's gonna be more vlogish. I'm gonna record like this, but also record like this at the gym. More so of me holding the camera, right? Like more vlogish, like I said. But anyway, see you guys later. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have a quote that you'd like me to read and maybe think about and talk about, let me know. I'll do that. But as of right now, I'm gonna keep pulling from the book that I'm reading, which is the Daily Stoic. But like I said, anyways, see you guys later. Thank you for watching.